the president, for instance, cut down on the list of ministers as he released those ministerial appointments. So I wanted to talk about that. The fact that he retained Ken Ofori-Atta as finance minister. Dr. Pepa, good move?
Yeah, I think it's a good move for the government because it's a short continuity. And also, we know the strategies of Ken already. So the country will not be deviating from the last 4 years' strategies. It brings some confidence also to the international market that because Ken is known there. So it puts the country among the country should put financial ministers in the world. Ken is known to have taken the country through a difficult time, which is the COVID period. So we are hoping that when the bright time is, we are expecting the future to be bright, we'll be able to come out with strategies and financial plans or budgets that will help us to take us through. So it's something good for the government, and we are hoping that. But where the caution is that we don't know the number of ministers the government is going to appoint as deputy financial ministers. It's also an area government must look at in terms of overspending. Also, there's a lot of directors under the Ministry of Finance. Can the government look at it to merge some of the offices to reduce the cost in spending at the Ministry of Finance? So Ken must first start from home. Make sure to reduce the number of finance directors and deputy finance ministers and other people appointed, government appointees working with him. In the last 4 years, we saw that he appointed so many directors or officers under the Ministry of Finance. Some of them were earning the same as deputy finance ministers. So government must look at that, and we are expecting that when Ken comes, we will not do the same mistakes as that happened last 4 years.
Dr. Said, how would you rate the performance of Ken Ofori-Atta over the past 4 years? What would be his greatest challenge in this second term?
Tough question. I usually don't want to get personal with the one occupying that position. But what I can say is that for the first 2 years, I was impressed with the ability to stabilize the economy. Of course, we needed foreign exchange to be able to stabilize. After all, domestic inflation is highly linked to the external sector because of what we call imported inflation. So I was impressed for the first 2 years. But the third and fourth years, what I realized was that, the strategy continued to be the same, which was meant to be for short term, get foreign currency to stabilize the economy. But this strategy was continued throughout the whole period. For that matter, there was so much borrowing. It is like you have a very big wound and you are not healing the wound. You are only trying to put medicine to reduce the pain. And that is what has led us to this situation that Moody and other rating agencies are now getting worried about. You see, the strategy of borrowing and borrowing and borrowing to stabilize is going to bite this country in the long term. So what I'm interested in is the future, whether it is Mr. Ofori-Atta or any other person in charge.
Right.
Think outside the box, generate revenue, cut down spending to make savings so that we can minimize borrowing. These short-term fixes that have been carried for quite a long time, get in foreign currency to stabilize the situation is, in fact, being so much of a burden to the country.
All right. And Dr. Pepa, you would have the final word. COVID-19 is still ravaging economies around the world. That's a tough task for the finance minister-designate, isn't it?
Yes, I think it's a very difficult period for us as a country and also for the finance minister. The World Bank and other agencies brought us some funds to support us. So I'm expecting his budget for 2021 not to be something that will be bringing in a lot of development, but to support and to bring in social support to the people or people in Ghana. It's a major issue that I think Ken must look at in his next budget that he presents to us in March.
All right. I want to thank you both for making time to speak to us on Business Live. Dr. Said Boakye with the IFS and the Head of Finance of Valley View University, Dr. Williams Pepa. Grateful for your time tonight.